Tom Cruise, Jerry Bruckheimer. If I said this to you in 1986, it wouldn't mean a damn thing to you.
What's going on, everybody? This your boy King Jerm, one half of Pod and Saved Our Marriage. Each and every Friday, Queen Jerm and myself drop an episode to show the people how Pod and Saved Our Marriage. Now, we're not like most married couples. Most of the time we disagree, but that's the beauty of the show. So, when you get through listening to Sparrows on the Review, come give us a listen. Each and every Friday on any DSP, go look for Pod and Saved Our Marriage.
40 years later, I say Jerry Bruckheimer and Tom Cruise. The first movie that comes to mind is Top Gun. I'm JR.
And I'm Stacey.
Now, we have been doing a series on movies from 1986 to 1996 to 2006. And this movie in particular, Top Gun, it's the crown jewel of 1986. This movie pretty much solidified the career of Tom Cruise. It made Jerry Bruckheimer now, but not back then, one of the hottest producers to ever produce movies. And yeah, I know he worked on Beverly Hills Cop. We're not taking that away from him, but I'm talking about like what really set that movie apart. This movie in particular, like, it was wild when I was a kid and when just growing up. This was a movie just like Days of Thunder from Tom Cruise that kind of, like, this is what you know Tom Cruise for. Now, I know another generation will be like, oh, Tom Cruise is Mission Impossible, blah, 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 yada, yada. No. Top Gun represented brilliancy in movies. Now, Stacey, for you growing up, where does Top Gun fit in your life?
Oh gosh. Let's just say anytime it's on TV playing, it was on our TV. If we didn't watch this movie probably at least once a week, I would think my dad was sick. And still to this day, that man will still watch Top Gun anytime he can catch it on TV.
I think it's the most watched movie we've ever watched with him.
I know. But as I say that, you know, it's a movie that I don't mind rewatching.
Right. I'll say everything in this movie, and I know this sounds really, really crazy because we're making a little quick episodes. I'm just going to say this about this movie. This movie does everything you need to do in a movie.
Mm-hmm. I didn't question anything. I mean, maybe I grew up with it. Maybe that's why. But I don't know. Like you said, everything about this movie made me want another one. And with that being said, I think we talked about this earlier in the day or yesterday. And we both agree Top Gun, the second one,
Maverick, yes,
to me was just as good. Like, I mean, you know, you can never top the first one, but I will recommend the second one just as much as the first one.
Well, like the conversation I had with your father was this real simple thing. What I liked about Top Gun Maverick was that it didn't play a sequel. It didn't try to make the same movie over again. It took some characters, it brought characters, which is fine, but it gave you a whole new story, a whole new way of thinking about the older characters with the newer characters and tying the story together. That's what I call good cinematography. That's what I call, like, even from the way that you could just, like how everything played out, the love story that happened in this, the love story that didn't truly happen in this, and just the things that you find out from the later film, and the later film didn't come out for a long time. Now, one thing I want to say about this film is on preservation at the Library of Congress at the National Film Registry. And when you get there and you do that, that's when you know your movie's amazing. Now, the sequel did not come out until 36 years later, which that's amazing because if this movie hadn't done this, we would have never got another Beetlejuice.
But I mean, I think that this was one of those movies that didn't have to have a sequel. So, like, it made sense in a whole as one. And I appreciate what you said as far as, um, you liked how it wasn't a remake or a reimagination. They didn't try to redo the first one. They continued on a legacy of sorts. And I think especially with bringing Miles Teller in as that character, and to me that was more of my generation. So it's like my dad's generation was there, and 36 years later, here's my generation.
Right. And then, you got Maverick and you got Goose.
Right.
And in the role of Goose, going into the second film, we don't have to go deep into that.
Right, no, because we talked about that, right?
I don't, I mean, I don't know if we did or not.
Okay. Anyways.
And I'll tell you a crazy thing about me. Like, this is one of the films that has always emerged as a cult classic, even though it made a lot of money. Cool thing I got to do, and I remember it slightly. It's one of the first movies I ever seen in true 3D. Like when they re-released it, I do remember that. That was something like I took time out. I was like, yo, I'm gonna miss a day at work and go see this. Like, that's how phenomenal this movie is. And I will not go into deep detail about the story, because the thing about this movie is, if you have not watched this is one of the greatest movies that was ever released.
Right.
When we go in the total of movies, I can call this Top Gun. I can go the original Star Wars. I can say the first Harry Potter. I can say a lot of movies. But this movie would be in the top 10 of movies that I would say, if you're not from America, or if you just never seen a movie in your life, like you didn't grow up with any type of electricity, this would be one of the movies you should watch, because this movie tells a story, gives you everything that you would want inside a movie. And it has those Jerry Bruckheimer explosions.
Okay. I agree. And I like what you said there. So let's talk really quick about just some numbers, because like we said before, we want to try to keep the 86 movies right now and the review, the past episodes, down a little bit. So it says that Paramount would re-release the film on May 13th of 2026 in honor of the 40th anniversary. So that's something we have to look forward to on Paramount. Box office, like these box office numbers were crazy. Their budget was 13 to 15 million. Their box office was 357.4 million. Like, that was amazing number.
And the crazy thing that I'll add into the statistics were, this is the highest grossing domestic film of 1986 and the highest grossing film of 1986 worldwide.
Okay. So let's talk about review numbers.
Okay.
So this received a 59% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay, I can run with that.
Though, and this is a quote, though it features some of the most memorable and electrifying aerial footage shot with an expert eye for action, Top Gun offers too little for non-adolescent viewers to chew on when its characters aren't in the air.
Sounds like a hater.
It does, because I thought overall it was a good show. Metacritic's 50 out of 100. Cinema Score gave it an A.
Okay, I like that. And I'm not going to say what Siskel and Ebert said, but let's just say this. Ebert was a hater, and Siskel knew what he was talking about in this movie. Now, quickly to tie this up, Stacey, where does this go in your top 5 movies?
I mean, I can't pinpoint it, but I can say it's probably in my top 5 movies.
Okay, I can put it in my top 10.
Okay.
Because I got 9 more movies, or at least whatever ahead of it. But since this is a quick episode, the amazing thing that happens with podcasting is there's a great thing called editing. And this show will stop right now. Now.
That was my best impression of the wind.
What's going on, everybody? This your boy King Jerm, one half of Pod and Saved Our Marriage. Each and every Friday, Queen Jerm and myself drop an episode to show the people how Pod and Saved Our Marriage. Now, we're not like most married couples. Most of the time we disagree, but that's the beauty of the show. So, when you get through listening to Sparrows on the Review, come give us a listen. Each and every Friday on any DSP, go look for Pod and Saved Our Marriage.
I love this movie.
I'm JR.
And I'm Stacey.
So real quick, before we even talk about this, this movie has royalty in it. Kathleen Kennedy, if you don't know who she is, we'll talk about her later. Michael Crichton, if you don't know who he is, and I know I jacked his name up.
Crichton, maybe?
Yeah, that is boy that made Jurassic Park. He wrote the books for Jurassic Park.
Who's Kelly Kennedy? Or
Kathleen Kennedy. She was the president of LucasArts.
She produced Jurassic Park. Ooh, E.T. That was her first film as a producer. Anyway, sorry guys, we got off topic there.
Yeah, and she was the president of Lucasfilms until last week.
Helen Hunt. Bill Paxton.
God rest his soul.
If you don't know who we're talking about now, man, what's that song by Luke Combs? There Ain't No Rain in Oklahoma.
Yep.
You're supposed to say the name. We're talking about Twister.
Oh, yeah. No, let me say this about Twister.
Oh, Ain't No Love in Oklahoma. My bad.
All right, now let me say this. This was one of the first DVDs I ever owned.
Okay. DVDs?
One of the first DVDs I ever owned. Now,
I think I might have had it on VHS.
Now, with this movie here, I seen this in theaters.
Oh, I bet that would have been fun.
And it was weird because in 1996, right, and this is crazy, I was 10 years old.
Right.
But I was the king of the dollar movie theater. Now, notice I didn't say I went and seen it when it first came out, but whenever I got to the dollar theater, I told my mom, I was in fourth grade. I was like, man, I'm trying to go see Twister. And my mom knew that would give her at least 2 hours away from me on a Friday night. Now, key thing here that you got to remember with this movie right here. Anybody that knew anything about Twisters or anything like that, the closest we come to even remembering them hardly would be from The Wizard of Oz. When Dorothy's house gets put up in a tornado. Because let's be honest, the only other way you will remember is if you did that experiment in science where you got that little thing to put two liters together and make the tornado that way. So did we really have a definitive tornado movie before this? I don't know. At least in my life, I didn't.
Okay. Well, if you guys know of any before this one, let us know down below and we'll go check it out. So they have a device named Dorothy. If you haven't seen this movie, you need to stop listening right now. Go watch it and then come back and let us know that you did it. Because in my opinion, this is probably one of my favorite movies. I will confidently say this is in my top 3. What else you got, JR? Oh, this was another staple that played in my house all the time growing up. Because I think it played a lot on TV and it still does.
Yeah, I feel like TNT has an agreement on this movie, and this shit, excuse me, I wasn't gonna say shit, but this movie it plays once a month or twice a month, it's got its own personal deal. Hey,
right,
we're not worried about the money, just show it to people, show it to people, show it to people.
Right. So box office and budget 88 to 92, box office 499.2. So it was a beast in theaters.
Right. And younger audience, what you have to understand is back in the day, if you didn't go watch this movie in the theater, you had to wait 6 to 8 to 9 months, sometimes a year or two,
right,
to see a movie.
Right.
We didn't have this quick 2-week turnaround when the movie comes out on October 21st, then it's on demand December 1st.
Right. So I just want to do quick critical response here. 67% on Rotten Tomatoes,
Okay.
68 out of 100 on Metacritics, and an A- on Cinema Score. So
Okay.
again, that goes into the, how do they rank these?
And one thing I want to do real quick is give a huge shout out to Carrie Ewers that starred in this movie. He was in another famous movie called The Princess Brides from 1987, which we'll cover next year.
Okay.
He was in Robin Hood Man in Tights, the Saw series, Hot Shots. This dude he's acting royalty when it comes to, being in movies. And by chance, we missed him at one of the Comic Cons we were at.
Oh.
I hope to get to see him again now that I forgot that he was the bad guy in Twister.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, I didn't realize who he was until I looked at the name and just looked him up.
Right.
You know,
Now, this is, of course, a 96. So it's what, 30?
yes.
So 30 years ago. So I was 7. Sorry, guys, I can't do math.
I was 10.
Okay.
Just because I'm 40, so it's easy to do the numbers.
So we want to thank everybody for tuning in. This is all we can really tell you about this movie besides stressing, go watch it if you haven't seen it yet.
And one other thing that's notable is Jamie Gertz that's in this film. I just wanted to throw this in there. It's kind of crazy that she's in this movie. And then later on, she was in another movie that came out in 1986 that we might be covering.
Okay.
But, and she's in some other TV show, but I forgot. But anyway, I just want to throw that in there. So I'm JR.
And I'm Stacey.